If you can pass these around, I have 2 mangoes sitting in my hand. You see one is like burgundy, one's purple. You can see that. So when you're looking around the markets, looking for your mangosteen, and you want to eat them now, go for the dark purple ones. Just pass those around and have a look. One is ripe, and one is not ripe. So always go for the dark purple.
And you should be able to open it, like you should be able to put your hand around it and squeeze, and it kind of pops the top off.
But if everyone does that, it will last like 2 people and it'll be born. But yeah, so
that's how you do it, like a claw.
Yeah, I'll show that afterwards.
Crab claw.
First question.
How do you both stay so grounded? And are there any rituals that you do together or by yourself?
We do a cocktail of Xanax and Hypnol. 5 a.m. and
You're talking about tantra.
How do we stay grounded, and do we have a ritual? Just experience, yeah. You got to focus on what your goal is. If your goal is to get the job done, then getting excessively emotional and negative sense isn't going to be conducive to that. Like, remember that Lance Armstrong had a crash in 2003 Tour de France? There was a kid, a fan, waving a bag up and down, and Lance came across the crowd going up the hill trying to go for the win, and the kid's bag got caught in Lance's handlebar and crashed Lance. This is like a multi-million-dollar sporting moment. Lance gets crashed by a 10-year-old spectator accidentally. He just didn't even look at the kid, didn't know what happened. He just picked his bike up, jumped on, kept going. If he just stood there and like screamed at someone, and said, people would probably understand that, but that wasn't conducive to Lance's goal. He may have done it afterwards in the hotel room, but in the moment, it's got to stay in your goal. So he personified drive in that moment for me by not being distracted by crashing or whatever. And then his bike actually snapped from the crash. So it was flexing around, he couldn't even put the power down, the gears were slipping, he landed on his top tube, almost crashed. But he got so angry, he just kept riding harder and harder and harder. So that's what you've got to do. It's got to transmutate frustration into being more grounded.
We do beat each other up as well.
Yeah, we've got a rule, no headshots. It's no headshots. But we can punch each other as hard as we want everyone else. Yeah. Toby.
Yeah, I'm that dummy sometimes.
Domestic violence, break the silence. Yeah, for sure. It's normal to get frustrated, lose your temper a bit.
Communication.
Communication's important. Yeah. It's about...
Just so you understand where each other is at. It's really important.
So it's fine to feel certain emotions, but to dwell on them continually, negative emotions, on the same situation again, bringing up again and again. It's like a computer virus in your computer. It just keeps coming up again and again and again. That's what's annoying. It comes up once. If your computer crashes once, no worries. If it keeps on crashing every time you try and do something productive, it's not the goal.
Then you've got to ask whether you're communicating or not. You've got to see if something keeps coming up over and over, then there's like a lack of communication. You're not understanding each other.
Or we just got to get someone else.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, as in, like, someone might go, oh, I'm getting into cycling now, and the partner goes, you're going to buy $1,000 bike? Like, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Like, you could buy a car for that much. And if you explain to your partner, yeah, I want to get fit, I want to get toned, I want to get lean as, super fit, ride my bike to work, save money, help the environment, and your partner still does the same shit, oh, you could buy a car for that much, that's just stupid, then you're with the wrong person. They keep going on about it. If they go, oh yeah, well, that's a good point, yeah, I'll support your positive choices, then you're with the right person.
Yes.
How's those little plants behind us? It's like we've got the spines looking at us.
It's a bit of a noise break as well, it's good.
Smells like fish down there.
That's just your shirt. Oh, crocodile? That would be so cool. Next question. I'm going to stare at someone until they ask a question. Choose one person.
Who did the 100k ride this morning?
What?
Oh, a few people. How was it?
Did you do the 100k ride?
How many people did it? 30?
45 straight up.
Wow.
And about 12 people bombed on full gas.
Yeah.
And I think they got lost or something.
Any crashes or?
I fell off. One guy was having his camera out and taking films and crashed.
Was it bad?
It was alright. No, it was okay. It was fine. Everything's fine.
Who was that? That show?
Oh, with the maybe
Oh, Costas.
Joey fell off too.
Did he?
With the scrapes on Instagram.
I don't think that was Joey. It was not Joey.
How do you deal with setbacks?
How do you deal with setbacks?
In a particular area?
As an example?
Any, like spraining your ankle? Like kind of,
Just assess the situation and do what's appropriate.
So you're like,
Rest, get the water in.
okay.
so if I sprained my ankle yesterday, I'd be like, alright, I'm not training for a few days, I'll still come here, but I've missed the morning bike ride, so that gives me more hours to work on my book, my next book, on cycling, or it gives me more hours to catch up on 6,500 emails or whatever. So it's just about, no worries, good, next.
Yeah, because stressing about it won't help.
I had so many
Hold on.
injuries in the last 17 years that I know that every injury you get is a chance to get better at something else in your life. Well, it's a lesson from the universe, okay, slow down, pay more attention, things like that. And that's injuries are a blessing, really, most of the time. I should die.
Well, that's not an injury then.
Like this, I had a crash last year running in a running race and popped my knee open a few times. My lesson was I need to eat even more in the race. Not get too caught up in the race tactics, focus on getting more food in so I can concentrate, not trip over.
Unless you can really project your voice.
I was kind of curious for both of you, when you guys quit using drugs, if there's like a specific timeline for like your mind and like body to recover, or like what your experience with that was.
Maybe pass the
Everyone
mic on
hand it to me.
so you can have the mic.
You're handing it to me,
You have
huh?
two mics.
It was a long time ago.
For me, it was about a week. And I started thinking clearer, better clarity, no come downs no more. I think it was the first weekend I'd never been stoned in my life, adult or teenage life. I was like, wow, man, all these guys are really boring without drugs. What the fuck am I doing here? So it became this like crystal clear clarity of like, alright, my mates are cool, but the main thing we have in common is just getting off our face. So now I'm not doing that no more. I might ride my bike more. So I started riding my bike more and more and more, get more into that, and then meeting cyclists. And I used to think cyclists do drugs, but my cyclist friends do way more drugs than my druggy friends, because their bodies can just handle a lot more. The fitter you get, the more drugs you can handle. It's insane. So the amount of speed and stimulants my druggy mates used to have is nothing compared to some of the cyclists I've known. It's crazy. But I didn't know that for a few years, because the drugs is pretty covert in cycling. They'll tell you in a little group, and then they'll go, hey, okay, take these painkillers, take these Adderall tablets, you know, blah, blah, blah. But until you're in that circle, you just think it's totally clean. You think, oh, everyone's healthy and fit, you know, healthy and fit, going to the gym and stuff. The gym's where most drugs are. It's nuts.
Yeah, I was
But,
just thinking back to that time, and I gained weight after I gave up the drugs. So my headspace wasn't the best. So I was like, oh great, you know, I'm getting fat now, giving up the drugs. But I definitely did feel better, and I began to eat more as well. So in that way, I did feel better, but didn't like the reflection. Yeah, but it's definitely a positive. Gordon?
Any stories about Thai massage, like best ones you had or worst experiences?
You had any happy endings, Sally? I don't know if that's a good or a bad. Should I talk about
Which
this?
one? Which one?
I've had hundreds, maybe 1,000 or close to 1,000 Thai massages. And the best massages I've had generally are the women over 50 who've got a bit of weight behind them. Just a good experience.
Strong.
And they can just feel. Some people do a massage, and that's fine as well. That's fine. Any massage for me is a good massage, but some just do the massage, they go through the motions. And some of the older women, they can feel what part of your body needs that release. You know, rather than just go through the motions, checking off the list, they just, you know, they feel it. They're present when they give you a massage versus watching the TV or looking at the window. And those massages are fine, but they're just more present.
Any bad ones?
Nah, not for me.
Yeah, not for me either. Yeah, pretty good. Except for that cracking thing, the whole spine cracking. I'm always a little scary of that. Yeah, I had that last night, and she was really, I know she was experienced, but she was distracted as well. And she was doing the old, like, one hand talking to a friend. And so I was a little bit, scared, but I'm here today, so I'm okay. I don't like the cracking when they pull with your fingers and stuff. It doesn't feel right. Mary?
So fats help recovery. Some people say that fats help recovery.
Did you say other fats?
Healthy fats.
Not my experience.
So some people say that. I mean, the thing is, there's fat in everything. There's fat in this orange juice. Oh, passion fruit juice, fresh sweet. There's fat in here. Omega-3 fatty acids in here. Yeah, definitely we need fats. It's impossible to eat a whole food diet without getting fat in your diet. Even if you're living on potatoes, bananas, corn, and lettuce, you still get sufficient fat. Adding in extra fat, in my experience, it doesn't boost recovery as much as adding in extra carbohydrates and water will. Same with protein. It's a myth in my experience. And that's the beauty when you've got a power meter and you've come from no fitness and you understand what no fitness feels like, and then you come up to some decent fitness. And you can tweak your diet, and you know how much is in what, or things like that. And you've got a power meter. When you've got a power meter in your bike, it's a game changer because you know what you're doing. It's like when you go to the gym and you can bench press 100 kilos. If you go into the gym and just bench press something and say I'm really strong, people go, how much can you lift? I don't know. I meet a lot of guys, and I'm like, oh, you do a bit of weights? No, I don't do any weights. And I'm like, oh yeah, no weights? Nah, no weights at all. Do you do bench press? No, I don't do bench. Oh, I can probably outlift you then, eh? Oh, I don't know. Well, I can bench press, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, oh no, I can bench press 80 kilos, times 10. I'm like, hey, you just said you don't need to do bench, but when they do bench or whatever. So it's...
Where'd you get that from? The what, sorry? Yeah. Could be some CrossFit paleo sauce, maybe.
I know a triathlete. Nah, carbs are king.
What I feel like is carbs, not fat, after a hard training session. That's for sure.
And it
so
may have been...
listen to your body too. Yeah.
It may have been taken out of context. They may have said, oh, you need 1 gram of omega-3 fatty acids per day before you can recover, which may be true, which is easy to get. It's probably half a gram of omega-3 here in this passion fruit juice. Yeah, but there's plenty of quacks out there like that. Dr. Young, he says, 20 avocados a day or something.
That's insane.
And the guy can't even run around the block. His wife looks like she's never done any exercise in her whole life. And I'm like, but people listen to this guy.
Now, what does he say? It's like 12 avocados for a day. What else?
It's a diet for immortality.
Green juice?
Green juice and avocados. That's it. But then in his book he says lots of brown rice. So this guy's so under carb, he contradicts himself like week to week.
To sell products.
Oh. But I know a triathlete coach in South Australia who claims that ketosis is the best thing ever. for athletes, and that all his athletes would beat my people. And I'm just like, bro, you can't even keep up with me for 5 minutes on the bike. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, I haven't really done much training. And well, you look like you've never done any training your whole life. He got a bit offended at that, but it's like some people just tripping hard. I'm not going to go into a gym, walk up to a 150 kilo steroid powerlifter, and go, you know, well, I reckon I can lift more than you. And then when he says, we'll do it, I'm like, oh, I've got a sore wrist. It's like tripping. But some people would see that conversation between me and the 150 kilos powerlifter and go, yeah, well, Durianrider, he probably could lift more than that guy. But I couldn't. But some people will believe anything. You tell people unicorns exist or Sasquatch exist, you know, Bigfoot. Saw Bigfoot in the training rides. Who saw Bigfoot up the hill today? Yeah. It's epic, man. Yeah, someone say something, someone's going to believe it. You write something about food, someone will believe it. Especially if it justifies telling the people good things about their bad habits.
Have either of you had a proposal in your life?
Marriage proposal?
Yeah, marriage proposal.
I'm glad I haven't. I don't want to get married.
Anything online?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Online? You have
Yeah, I have.
legit.
Legit. I mean, I won't
Come
say
on.
who by, but
Oh yeah.
some legit ones out
Any
there.
personal?
Is that?
Any personal?
No.
No, I think we need to talk.
I've already told you this.
What did they do via YouTube or something? They
No,
got
just
down on
an
their knee.
email.
What did they say?
We should probably get married.
Oh, it's that time, is it? Like,
Yeah.
that time in the relationship?
Yeah.
No.
How often do we get ill, and do we still train?
Last time I was ill was in 2009. Was that the... Yeah, 2009 I got tropical ulcers in North Queensland. We had a retreat on there. And I got really dehydrated. I was undercarb. My immune system was not having a good time. I was raw at that time, but so dehydrated. And I got these tropical ulcers all over my legs and my arms, and that lasted about 2 months. So that was the last time I was ill. Since then, nothing. And that was pretty bad. But that wasn't because, I'm vegan or anything like that. There's a lot of meat eaters get that. Sniffles. I can't remember last time I had sniffles.
Last time I had sniffles, I was in 2011. I was in Pennsylvania. I slept at Arnold from Arnold. Who knows Arnold from Arnold's Way? He's a really cool guy. He has a raw food cafe in Allendale, Pennsylvania, I think it is. Anyway, I stayed at his house, and he had a cat in the room that come in that night, and I didn't notice, and the cat was like sleeping next to me on the pillow. I woke up, my eyes were so puffy, I literally couldn't almost see. So I was like, had to like sort of open my eyes up a bit, and I was like, what's going on? And I was like, this fur next to my pillow, and yeah, I was just like wheezing. I had to literally get on the bike before everyone else woke up and just ride about 10 kilometres around the neighbourhood, just get my lymphatic system going. I was just like wheezing, and my slits in my eyes, it's crazy.
So you weren't ill though?
I was ill.
Just a reaction.
Ill to the cat. So I don't sleep in houses where cats live anymore.
We don't get sick.
I train. I had to train to get better. I had to push my blood around, push the lymphatic system, get all the cat protein out of my body.
I didn't train for
There's
the whole 2
saliva.
months. But I had the tropical ulcers. I didn't train for 2 months. But I wish I did actually.
And you lost weight, didn't you?
Yeah, I lost weight. I was on like Watermelon Island basically for 2 months.
I think you get a rack on the back of your bike and put a little basket on the back so we can't jump out. Or a basket on the front.
How old is he?
Someone hard
How old
enough.
is he? Is he a puppy or? Oh, so that might freak him out a bit for the first time going on a bike. So you might have to have him in like an enclosed cage rather than like an open one that you see in Thailand. think enclosed cage on the back. Probably be the best. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, possible. Is your bike
Might be
carbon or
bumpy.
alloy? Is it aluminium or carbon in your bike? Mm. Yeah. If it's alloy, it's easier to fit a rack. I'd try that. And maybe you could make it dark to start with, and then cut a little hole in it so you can see.
See that basket up the back there on the bike? That's on the front, isn't it?
There you go.
No, that could work. Then you could keep an eye on him at least.
Yeah. And if he
Like,
barks,
he might, there might be a bump and he might fall off, and you might not even notice. Like, yeah, so maybe on the front is a better idea.
and if he barks too much, just hit the cage. Shut up! Shut up! Let's get it right.
That's like sushi doesn't like.
Oh yeah.
So the question is how to carry a dog
A little dog.
and how to discipline a dog. Shut up! Shut up!
I think they got that bit. Oh yeah.
Discipline.
When the camera's off.
Someone said that in Thailand they inject the watermelons with dye and sugar. In 2006, I won't mention any names, but there was a raw food guy traveling around Thailand, and he was posting on various forums saying, look, if you pay me $100 a day, I'll make sure you get all the best fruit in Thailand because you'll be guaranteed to get injected fruits. Absolute rubbish. Rubbish. That happened maybe in China 10 years ago, and it circulates around the internet.
How could that happen?
If you inject food dye into a watermelon, there's no way it's going to like just disperse through all the watermelon. And if you inject it, there's a little hole there. All the fruit fly are going to hover around the hole, lay their maggots in there. The watermelon will be like infested within 24 hours. And injecting sugar in the watermelon, it would cost more money. Do you know how much sugar you have to inject into a watermelon to make the whole watermelon sweet?
And it doesn't taste like it.
Total
They do
myth.
it. Thai,
Total
Thai
myth.
watermelons aren't really that sweet.
The watermelon's going to go off if you put a hole in it. So you just make your food rotten. But it's happened in China where they cut rice with plastic, like chewy plastic.
It looks like rice.
Looks like
Right.
rice.
Really bad.
I mean, China's full of cutthroat over there. Rip-offs, Louis Vuitton handbags, whatever. Counterfeit drugs coming out of China. Counterfeit insulin. Isn't that crazy? There's insulin on the market that's not even insulin or diluted. So you're diabetic and you're measuring out your units, so then you inject insulin to yourself, or someone's done counterfeit dodge on you, so you can risk death. Or
Scary.
crazy
Really scary.
hypoglycemic coma. But yeah, counterfeit stuff's around, but counterfeit fruit, nah. What is?
I've got two questions. Ladies first.
Have you guys ever considered growing your own fruit?
Have we considered growing our own fruit? Definitely. In Australia, it costs you at least $2 million to buy the property on good soil, and then you've got to employ someone full time to tend it, because that's not our job. We're not farmers, we're video producers, etc. And so yeah,
We would fail at that.
miserably fail. So $2 million capital, plus water, plus rock dusting, plus dealing with the council. Hey, you got a lot of fruit here, like maybe you can't grow bananas in this zone or things like that. So the headache my organic farmer friends go through. And then you got to manage staff and basically
I'd
become
rather
a farmer.
support those farms.
Yeah, we would rather walk in the shop, do the easiest thing. Here, here's my $100. Here's a banana, thanks. See you later. I've got friends who go for all this, litigation, council, water. It's nuts, man. It's
My
nuts.
dad's a huge farmer in Canada,
Yeah.
but vegetable farmer, so he uses like loads of pesticides. Like
Mm.
he grows all like those cash crops.
Yeah.
Like thousands of acres. So I'm trying to kind of enlighten him with my organic farming and whatnot.
Yeah. Organic farming is so much harder. 'Cause you might get a flock of pests come in. What do? Fruit bats come in, just take all your fruit. Conventional farming, just shoot them or spray. Poison. Burn, poison, cut. No worries, But organic farming, crazy how much harder it is, generally. Especially Australia, we've got a big water crisis going on at the moment. And the land where the good stuff is very expensive. So you've got to be pretty loaded. or want to get heavily in debt. Yeah. Recovery from hardcore coffee use. Methadone. No, isn't it? I thought it's green tea. I don't drink coffee. I drink green tea. Well, I don't do chocolate. I don't do coffee. I do chocolate. I do cacao shakes. It's caffeine. It's caffeine. Just drop it down, cut it out, or drop it right back. Cup of coffee a week or something like that. But
And up your carbs.
Yeah,
Because
get a
your
bit
body's
earlier.
going for the stimulant because you're not getting enough carbohydrates.
Or only use stimulants when you're on your peak, when you're peaking, highest energy levels ever. You want to go next level. You're at 100%. You want to go to 110%. Then use stimulants, and that way you're not borrowing. It's a bit like, yeah, you've got $100,000 to buy a Porsche, and you're borrowing $1,000. Versus I've got $1,000 and I'm going to buy $100 grand and get a Porsche. You know, I'm really tired. I need to pick up having caffeine. It's like buying $100,000. Or where you're just peaking, all right, I'm just going to smash it today. I'm doing my marathon and train up hard. I'm going to have some caffeine today to squeeze an extra couple of minutes off the marathon time. No worries, you know? But it's this daily use of caffeine. My grandma has like 300 milligrams of caffeine a day just to sit up in a chair, watch TV, and sweep the house a little bit. If I had 300 milligrams, last time I had 300 milligrams of caffeine, I was just like, so I was on speed. It was crazy. It's crazy. So it's amazing how much abuse the body can handle. But I want to thrive versus survive. I'd rather thrive versus survive. So when you're using stimulants every day, you thrive for a bit, but then your adrenals and your endocrine systems are starting to drop down, and then you just become a survivor versus a thriver. Just no stimulants, carbs, sweet water, sugar.
Carbs.
Sweet water, sugar, good times and good people.
Sugar.
You know, good times and good people. That is like the best stimulant, really.
Sugar helps your body heal everything. If you get enough sugar to the brain. Simple sugar, especially from fruit. This helps all the functions of your body.
It's like a new record got set today from the Thai Fruit Festival up to Tep, just past the zoo to the temple, 29 minutes, 14 seconds. Is Paul here today? Paul here? Yeah, Paul? No, Paul? Yeah, so Paul did like 29 minutes, 14 seconds. It's pretty quick, isn't it?
Mr. Schmidt.
You know? So he went up with me first, and then he went back down again. So take your jersey off, take your shirt off. You
He
know?
went up twice.
He went up twice. First time easy, second time hard. And then he took his shirt off. And he goes, "Yes, this is going to be pretty good. This is going to be a time trial. It's going to be fun." And he had fun. You have to see his face. He's just having fun. That's the best stimulant ever. Yeah. So he just went back down, came back up, and smashed it. Sub 30 up to Tep. Crazy. But he's having fun with it. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Hey, Mum. What question do you have?
Next question.
Oh, watch it. Oh. Can you give some gossip?
Juicy.
Like after eating fruit, what time of the day is it? Is it happening after dinner or in the morning or? Yeah, so the question is, some people at the Marina Inn or some people at the festival are getting pain after eating fruit. Is it after eating fruit, Mum?
Pineapple burnt mouth.
Pineapple, burnt mouth. Yeah, that'll happen if you're smashing the pineapple for sure. Like, it's going to get to a point where the fibers start just cutting into your tongue and cutting into your mouth and giving you ulcers and stuff like that. That's just the body's way of saying, okay, you had enough pineapple. You're not meant to eat any more than that. And if you're getting like stomach pains and stuff like that, it can often be like dehydration. You're not having enough water before you have your fruit, or you're saving all your calories up during the day and you're just smashing in a cooked vegan meal with like oils in it. And then the next day you're having maybe something like watermelon in the morning or fruits, and that's mixing with the cooked meal from the night before. That can definitely cause some pain like heartburn and reflux, that sort of thing. So make sure you're getting, everyone here should get at least 2,000 calories of fruit per day, like before they had the cooked vegan meal. for dinner. Definitely get the fruit in. That's going to help a lot. Dehydration, get enough fruit in, get enough water in. That's probably, yeah, that would take care of it.
Is it mainly the non-exercisers saying that? Are they the mountain people? Or are they the... Because I definitely find the fitter I get, the better everything works for me. Digestion and that. Oh, yeah. If I woke up and just started eating without drinking, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, or using fruit as hydration.
I'd be still stodgy
like
as.
saying, yeah, that's common.
Oh, there you go.
Or coconut water.
Oh.
The body doesn't have a deficiency of coconut water. It has a deficiency of water. Pure water. Who?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy. Where's buddy? Coconut boy.
Drink warm water, buddy. Yeah, I've done that before. I've just woken up and had sugarcane juice or coconut water. Don't feel anywhere near as good as I do when I just have straight water first thing. Definitely. I mean, obviously, yeah, fruit's got a lot of water in it, but you need water for water's sake. When your body's cleaning itself or putting water into its cells, it's not using watermelon juice or coconut water. It has to filter that first before it can be used as water. Just like if I give you water to wash dishes and I come with a big tub of watermelon juice, you're like, well, what are you doing? I want to wash dishes. Yeah, no, this is full of water, mate. What do you mean? You know, or if I come with pond water and say, hey, wash your white clothes with this pond water, you'd be like, I need water. No, this is water. This is full of stuff. So then you have to filter out that stuff before you have the clean water. Same with your body. Your body has to filter all the nutrients out, the vitamins and stuff like that before it can really use it. So just drink water for water's sake. Start the day with a little water.
How much do we personally drink?
For me, at least, minimum 3 litres, or 3 litres for me. Minimum 3
I'm
litres.
having at least 2.
Minimum.
How much water are we drinking in Thailand? That was the question. I have a litre first thing.
I have a litre first thing before breakfast. So I wake up, have maybe 500 mils, and then I have my 700 ml bottle, just got one here, and I drink that, and I'm up the mountain by then, and I knock back maybe almost a litre of juice, and then I come home, have breakfast, mangoes, bananas, with some more water. Then before lunch, have another 3 litre, and then a litre before dinner. Good to go. Good to go. Because the more you put water, the more you get the nutrition in your body, the water, the hydration, the sleep, recovery, the more your body wants to really thrive. Yeah. That's how doping products work, like testosterone, EPO. You have more red blood cells, you can hold more water in your muscles, things like that. So when we understand sports doping and what it does, we can go, how can I dope myself in my daily life? More carbohydrate, more sleep, more water. Can you drink too much water? For sure. You just go in here and you drown. You know.
No one here needs to worry about that.
No. Unless you like have a mental issue where you try and drink like 4 litres in 10 minutes just to prove us wrong. And then you die, and on your tombstone it says, I was right, Freelee Durianrider wrong. You can drink too much. Of course you drink too much. It's like you can lift too much weight. And you put 400 kilos in the squat and then try and squat it, and snap your back in half, you lift too much weight. You drink too much water, your brain bursts, for sure.
You have to be really forcing it.
There's no need to drink more than 1 litre per hour. Any more than that, there's no real need.
I always find if I don't get enough water during the day, before I go to bed, I'll be just up in bed drinking the water and make sure I'm peeing clear before I go to bed, and I just wake up super fresh. It's a really good tip.
Try.
Yeah, give it a go. Try.
Swiss. You drink 8 litres of water per day?
Do you measure it out?
Nice, awesome. That's why you ride so strong, man. One of the reasons. No. So Swiss drinks 8 litres of water a day, and he climbs the mountain like a beast. He rides in sneakers. Today we're like, man, he just keeps keeping up. Is 8 litres a day too much? No.
You do that consistently, day in, day out.
Yeah. You're a hydrated guy, you know. That's fine. where do we invest our money? We just spend it. You know, spend a lot. I spent $1,000 down a bike shop on shoes and pedals, so to spend it on good things. We don't invest as such. When you got a lot of when you got a lot of assets, you get open to being sued. So if you want to be
have it
really,
in your name.
yeah, we don't have it in your name. No. If down the track, if we were really cranking it financially and had that much disposable income, then buy a fruit farm or something in someone else's name. Sure,
That'd be so
sanctuary or
cool.
whatever.
Durian
Yeah.
trees everywhere.
Or you can just spend it.
Yeah. Yeah, a mature fruit farm that's already established. That would be awesome. What's that?
Yeah, Thailand
Yeah.
or
Or
somewhere
someone
else.
else could manage it. That would be great.
But then when you have other people and politics and money and
You gotta find the right people.
you gotta, yeah, I mean, I've seen what my friends have gone through in the last 10 years, you know, like just bitter court battles and everything starts out rainbow children, but then it just goes nasty. So it's almost better if you do it just yourself. Because then you have managed staff and then someone comes in the farm, you got a woofer, and then the woofing organiser rings out and says, oh, the Spanish couple doesn't want to dig the worms because they think the worms might get hurt, and it just gets full on, and the Aussie couple is like fighting with the
That's when you let too
Zealanders.
many people come and just... You become a doormat. You're just gonna make sure you don't become a doormat.
But if that's your passion, then that you just deal with it. Yeah.
Hi, Carl Queen.
I don't digest beans, nut food, and soy. So I try it. Yeah, every time I try it,
Is that a fart?
I get bloated and feel not very comfortable. But even Dr. McDougall says you should eat some beans or like
Protein.
I don't think you need any at all. I think that's a load of crap.
If they don't work for you, you don't need to eat them. We eat them occasionally.
Beans in nature?
Yeah,
Tasty?
I eat brown rice to get more protein in it.
I mean, most of us here, our goal is to be slim versus heavier. I mean, if you want to be heavier, yeah, eat more protein for sure. You
It
can
is
just
a
do like
bulking food.
you can do like
Bulking.
some vegan protein supplement.
No, no problem.
But I really, really tried it. Eat tempeh, but
Yeah, same for me. Doesn't
The
digest well.
American diet, who wants something heavier, so it fills the gap.
So he says that like you should have more beans, more protein to build muscle, or just yeah.
I'm not sure now that's not what it's saying.
No,
It's
yeah.
just saying to get satisfied from potatoes and beans and lentils.
Carbs are where the satisfaction comes in. More carbs.
I went to the restaurant last night and ate so much I couldn't even talk at the end. I
It
was
was
just
so
like,
funny.
I don't want to talk because
Sweat just
air's
pouring
going
down
in my
his-
stomach. I'm about to explode.
I'm like, are you okay? He's like, shh.
And the restaurant was closing, and we were the last people there, last people standing. So I got the salad and like shoved it in my water bottle, so I didn't leave anything on the plate. And then we left. And I had a good ride this morning. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you were really carb up.
But most of the time we order so much food it covers the entire table. You see on Instagram posts and that. And other people in the restaurant were looking over like, and the chefs always say, "Are you sure you want that much food?" It's not gonna be a lot of food. And we eat it, and they're just like, "Man, what's going on here?"
Where'd you put all that?
Crazy. But the rice here is so fresh. It's amazing compared to Australia.
I still like the white better than the brown. Okay. More questions? Gordon.
Do you like to summon
I don't know, like, you know. Would I like to sign up for a modelling agency? Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I'm a bit busy, you know.
You would go far.
Freelee?
Yeah, same.
the transformation of Harley would be incredible.
So,
Milano. Great.
Sought after.
Milano. Milano rider.
Really skinny, like 60 kilos or something.
Yeah.
In a hammer.
That's a slim down man
Like
bag.
coat hangers walking along. Yeah.
Get some manscaping.
Your legs are
Well, they're half shaved. I shaved the,
Fantastic legs.
I shaved the
swear. Like, I
medial
would
side
swap
off.
him in a heartbeat.
not the lateral side yet, more aero. or Aero.
Looking a bit hairy.
They're getting the bear suit shaved off.
Yeah, personally, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I haven't thought about that.
These days, modelling, I mean, just get on YouTube.
I mean, I'm not tall enough either. But, you know, for certain modelling, maybe. But definitely not catwalk, that's for sure.
Fall
Definitely
over.
the wrong figure for that.
Fall off the catwalk. But yeah, that's the thing with YouTube now. Like, if anyone's got modelling aesthetics, they can just crank on YouTube. You know?
We have got a Vogue
Crazy.
model here, though, from New York. Well,
Oh.
she's from Australia, but she's been to New York. Yeah,
Meryl.
hello. MJ. 6'1". Amazing. Yeah, she's going to start YouTube. We're all going to encourage her to start YouTube so she can help other models who have been starving themselves and, you know, cocaine and all of that rubbish. Get them off it. Yeah. I like it.
If you could choose between potatoes, corn, and rice, what's your favorite part
To eat or digest?
Question.
overall? Like digest, eat.
Corn, potatoes, or rice?
No
what's
fruit
our,
in there?
What's our best?
No fruit in there?
Just those three, yeah.
Just those three.
Yeah, good.
I'd say rice. Really?
Potatoes.
Actually, no, I'd say corn. Corn,
Why?
yeah. I just got my legs feel pretty good after corn next day when I'm training. Or maybe some more potassium content or something. For me, it's like bananas. My legs just feel like really strong when I push the watts next day.
I like the way potatoes digest.
Corn, rice, potato.
Better than corn or rice for me. And the taste, I love the taste.
Yeah.
Like really good potatoes, oh, so good.
But for me, corn is the most natural of those. Like, you can eat good
You can
corn,
eat
you
it
can
raw.
eat by itself. I can smash down 10 cobs of corn if it's good
Yeah,
quality.
correct.
With no condiment. Or even just boiled it, you know. But potatoes and rice, I like a bit of condiment.
Raw potatoes, not so much. Your knees and ankles hurt? Has anything else changed in your lifestyle? Like
Potatoes.
when this happens? So the comment is, Mary, Fanny's ankles and knees become really painful when she eats potatoes. That's interesting. Are you fully hydrated? Not sure, maybe you're not. It could be a hydration factor. Yeah.
Sounds like they don't like you. It's gonna be a relationship issue. The good thing with potatoes is like, or tomatoes or any nightshade family, if it doesn't work for someone, they don't have to eat it
Yeah, nightshades.
because there's so many other options. Like Solanaceae family.
I get mouth ulcers
Yeah.
whenever I eat tomatoes.
Or how about sweet potatoes?
Whenever. I've got an ulcer now from tomatoes.
Sweet potatoes okay? There you go. Problem solved. There you go. No worries. Yeah, it's just about finding things that work for you. Tweak it. Tomatoes, you eating tomatoes or and you still get ulcers?
Pineapple?
I used to get that with the coated tongue. Maybe it's a detox thing or, you know.
Fully hydrated. Yeah. I have heard of it before. I'm not sure if it's anything. You know, how do you feel? Fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny on the ulcers sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like a little thing. It's sort of, no one really has an answer to it that I've really heard, but potentially. I've seen some people water fast. Some people get like a full-on white tongue, you know, and some people don't. So
Depends on what you ate as well. You know, was it pineapple or mangoes you ate, or yeah, it would have to do with the fruit itself.
Maybe unripe fruit or
Yeah,
something like that.
possibly. Ah, fruit after cooked. Mm. Yeah, it's just immense and.
Or vinegar.
Ew. Fruit
Sounds like-
moves so fast through the digestive system. It wants to go through first and by itself and not run into starches, cooked starches. Because then that whole like science experiment starts in your intestinal tract. And it's not good. It's not good for absorption, assimilation of the carbohydrates, blood sugar levels. So that would be something to look into.
Just play around with it. It doesn't seem like it's a real issue, you know.
Gordon's asking all the awkward questions. What do you got now?
It's like it's not slightly juicy.
Oh, God.
I apologise.
I'm worried.
So, some tips and wisdom how to be a better lover.
How to be a better lover. Alright, the best tip ever. Best tip ever.
Apart from the sleepwalk sugar, apart from that.
How to be a better
Gosh.
lover. Turn off the lights, put on some romantic music,
Oh, really?
light up a few candles,
I haven't got that yet.
put a blindfold on your partner and say, I'll be back in 5
Blindfold.
minutes. Go downstairs, ring up local escort agency and say, I want your most experienced lover, male or female, depending on your partner. And then you just, you spray your perfume or scented oil on them, and then you go kick back, watch the footy on TV, come back an hour later and say, how was that?
Can we do that?
There you go. Simple as that. And you got to handcuff them so they can't touch you.
Why you answer it properly?
How to be a better lover? I wouldn't have a clue. For me, it's about being present. Just being present and paying attention. Asking questions, what that person like, things like that. And being sleepwater sugar so you have the energy to be present.
Not putting the internet before sex.
You don't bring mobile phones to bed, you know. Checking out Instagram or something like that.
Instagram to bed.
You know,
It's a bit,
midway
it's a
through,
very
you're
romantic.
checking social media.
Is this a rule you guys have?
We just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really a rule. I think after 7 years, like we know each other sexually really well by now. Yeah, we know what each other likes and dislikes, and it's a matter of just making time. And yeah, pretty much it.
Communication is the biggest one. I think a lot of people feel shy or embarrassed or ashamed to ask what the other person enjoys. It's like you're basically a restaurant owner and your customer comes in and you say, well, what do you like? You don't just start bringing them food. Straight from the get-go, what do you like? Then you go, okay, I'll serve this up, serve that up. There might be something you like. Saves time, energy, get to the point. Rob, who did a video?
Repeat the question.
Who did it?
Yeah. Oh, Danny. Danny here, Danny Glass.
The dress.
Little Danny.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the video just like saying you shouldn't drink.
I think Danny,
Can you repeat the question?
the question is you shouldn't drink water when you have a meal. And I think that's partly true, but not really. Just drink enough water before the meal, you don't really thirsty, drink during it. But if you have to drink water, it doesn't matter. Yeah, just have a sip, get your
Fitness
saliva
makes a
going.
big difference too. If you fit, everything just.
But
works so-
I've known people who would have a meal, and then they're like, I'm thirsty, but I can't drink water during or afterwards. So then they get more dehydrated. And it's just like, obviously drink before your meal, get your everything lubricated, your digestive tract, a bit of water in there. Digestion's better when you've got more water in the system, sufficient water. And then have your meal. But if you have to have some water with your meal, it's alright.
I have it.
But ideally,
We
I
used to
drink
think
before.
that though, didn't we? We were into that.
yeah. But it's this sort of a purity mindset people go through. Yeah, everyone goes through that at some point. It's a bit like, there was one part of my life where I wouldn't step on the cracks in the pavement. Who's done that? Like superstition. I'd walk
Really?
through the city and I would not step on the crack. I was 12 years old. I was walking with my grandma. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, no, nothing.
That would be
Nothing.
so hard in Thailand.
Yeah. One time when I was 13, I got this brand new pair of shoes, my first ever nice pair of shoes. and I would run across the road because the road was more like rough on the sole of the shoe. The tarmac was more rough than the concrete. So instead of just walking across the road, I'd take as little steps as possible to get across the road, so I didn't wear the soles of my shoes out. Just like, just a bit of a tweaker. And the same, then when it carries over the diet, we think, things like. So it's good to be aware, but when it comes like too extreme, you sort of miss out a bit. Be like my friend who I talked about yesterday, who, when we used to stop at the coffee shop, get water or coffee or whatever, he wouldn't stop. He'd keep riding up and down the street, to keep his average speed up. Things like that. So yeah. I'll have to have a chat with Danny. Because purity mindset can be good in some ways, but very destructive in others. And often it's a mask for anorexia, things like that.
I've heard of some people say that they can't be compassionate towards meat eaters. And what's your opinion on that?
They should all die.
It's because, personally, most families of meat eaters, if I wasn't compassionate towards them, that's your family, right? And, everybody else is on the journey. So, what's your opinion on that?
The question is, should we or can we be compassionate to meat eaters? I'll answer this one first, unless you want to answer it first. I'd say definitely. But also,
I don't know about compassion.
Be compassionate enough to tell them the truth as well. So my definition of compassion for humans is to tell them the fucking truth. Compassion for animals, I can't tell, if a pigeon's got a broken wing, I can't say, hey pigeon, jump in this cage, we'll take it to the vet, we'll help you out. No, it doesn't work that way. I've got to grab the pigeon, I've got to catch it, I've got to use violence to help that animal. With humans, we can communicate.
Truth is the only love. Truth. Got to be truthful with people.
Especially things like that matter like that. So for me, the definition of compassion is to tell people the truth as I see it in the moment. So all the people around me, they know what I think, so I tell them. If I value them at all.
I've heard people saying, you can be friends with meat eaters? Well, I can't be friends with you anymore, like a fellow vegan. And I just thought that was kind of awful.
Oh, they ditched you because you're friends with them, right?
Right, not me personally, I'm just speaking.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, they see the injustice that goes on in society, and it's easy to become very frustrated, very disillusioned, and just want to just fuck everything. And I've been there myself, but I don't think it's always the best thing, unless you're on YouTube. And you can make videos like that. But in real life, just speak the truth.
You've got to adapt to the situation.
Yeah, you've got to calibrate to who's around you, but calibrate with integrity, transparency, and honesty, authenticity about the bigger message.
Drop the bomb and then leave.
And drop it with humour. I remember one time I was riding across Australia, and I stopped at a pub in like the middle of this cattle grazing area. I was drinking fruit juice and raisins. No, I was drinking sultanas and water in a shaker bottle. And these cattle farmers come in and they're like, "Hey, where are you ridden from? It's hot out today." We started talking, and then the wides came in. We started talking about vegan diet, and I had them laughing. They're all cattle farmers, sheep farmers, rednecks, but I had pissed themselves laughing by telling them jokes about how shitty the diet was. And I was like, "Hey, yeah, got some good points there." But I was being compassionate with them, but just telling them the fucking truth, and making a fool of them, and they knew it, but they found it funny anyway. So it's just about, I think, really learning how to calibrate to your audience is pretty powerful, and that comes with experience. And it's easier when you're dealing with one person. Like here, when you've got a crowd in front of you, so you might say one thing to some person, they're like, "Yeah, it's fucking awesome." You might say the same thing to someone else, and they're like, "That dude's a fucking idiot." So it's easier when you got one-on-one, or 1-on-3 or something like that. Just calibrate and have compassion to tell the truth. Care enough to speak the truth of what needs to be said to that person to help them. Especially when it comes to vegan, because we're representing the animals who have no voice. What would the animals say if they had a voice? Ask yourself that question. If I was an animal now, what would I say? So one time I was in Canterbury, Thailand, and I was running around this lake, and this lady had this cage with a little kingfisher in there. In the cage, and the kingfisher's just going, who doesn't know what a kingfisher is? It's like a little tropical rainforest bird with a big beak. It's a beautiful blue thing. And it's in this cage just going schizo, And I was like, "Hey, what the fuck's a kingfisher doing in this little cage?" And I looked at the lady, I was like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, so I was like, "Okay, I'm a fucking good runner. what the fuck am I doing right now? So I just grabbed the cage, broke the fucking door off, grabbed the bird, let it go, and just pointed at the bird, put it at her, and just jogged off. I'm like, no one's going to catch me. No one here can run as fast as me. Why am I training so hard if I don't use my fitness? Some people say, oh, that's vandalism, you're theft, you've damaged the cage, you've stolen someone's property, you know, that's not very good. But I was like, what would the bird think? The birds probably go, fucking ass, dude, fuck that cage. Freedom, you know. So obviously...
What happened with that rabbit too?
Oh, the rabbit. Oh, you got the location? Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, we'll saw that
Do a
tonight.
rescue, rabbit rescue.
Yeah, we have to drop the rabbit.
Mm.
I was there. I talked to Joe as well. He said he knows a family that might
Take the rabbit. Yeah.
and that we have to drop them.
We're just talking about an abused rabbit that was found, near your place, hey? Yeah.
Yeah, check.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna
remind me after the talk.
But the family is not taking the rabbit.
We let the rabbit
Oh,
go in the
we'll find
forest,
someone.
you
Yeah,
know, even then.
it's okay.
Still there.
I'd rather have my chance in the forest with the wild dogs than be in a cage in the heat, in the hot sun.
I'm sure we'll find a family.
Family or a good park, a place where
Yeah.
Mm.
Rabbits are pretty hardy animals, and they're native to Thailand, so
it's big and
yeah. Put it on steroids. Cheap. Like a YouTube video about him.
What do you think is the optimum diet for athletes then? Do you agree with how Ted taught, or do you think you should introduce quick foods to help with your fitness? Or?
Where's Ted?
It helped
Ted,
us.
Ted here?
Oh,
Ted?
He's not here, we can bitch about him.
Right.
Just kidding, we love Ted.
I've eaten the same diet as Ted has. I think it's great, but I find it's hard to get consistent calories. And when I was doing that, I was like avocado, coconut meat, durian,
That
Yeah,
always comes
yeah.
in.
and then my training would be like sporadic. Like Ted's mega. He loves training. He loves training more than I do.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come out with us every day because he just doesn't have the energy to come up the mountain all the time. But he would love to, but it's just sort of like it's a bit like when you want something but you don't have the energy to do it. You know, your love is there, but the energy's not letting you push that.
I mean,
So-
it's possible, but you got to be really like onto every single meal. Make sure you
It's
get
really
enough
hard.
calories every single
But then
meal,
you get-
day after day.
You get tempted for the coconut meat and heaps of durian, and you know.
We got leaner and
avocados.
fitter when we incorporated cooked food.
So for an athlete, mostly fruits, but with the freedom to say, I'm going to drink bottled pasteurized juice, I'll drink sugar water, you know, I'll have dried fruit, things like that, have a bit of rice here and there, whatever, some sweet corn. And then that way you always got carbohydrate sufficiency, then you've always got glycogen retention, recovery, and then your red blood cells are cranking, then you just cruising up there. So it's, I think Ted is on the right track. He just needs more carbohydrate calories. Well, that's my experience. And
You might be beating you though.
he probably would start beating me then maybe. But he's about same fitness as Freelee, a little bit faster up the hill.
You'll love to hear that.
What's your time up there?
No,
What's
he's
Ted?
faster. Mine's 40 minutes.
40, 37. Ted's 38, 40. Yeah, 40.
It's a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so it's Freelee's 40, 37. Ted's 38, 40.
And I'm not coming from a lot of fitness either.
I'm 33, 11.
We squat.
Do you think,
We squat on everything.
is this like a good thing to buy, or is it just a better
Yeah, it's good.
value?
Yeah, I'm King Sabel. Is it good to buy squatty potties? Is that what it's called? Squat pot? Yeah, squatty potties.
They can be good, they can be safe, because sometimes if you squat on a toilet, it's maybe not designed for that weight.
I'll fall
If it's got a crack in there, the whole toilet could collapse. So before you ever squat on the toilet, just check for cracks. And when you squat on the toilet, don't like hop onto it. Just sort of gently get on there. Because I've seen some horrific injuries on the internet, Google images
yeah,
of people
bad.
stepping on a toilet and just it shatters and slices you open. So just be mindful
Like-
of that.
Seriously, in half.
It only takes 2 seconds to check for any cracks on the inside, outside the toilet. But squatting is that's the design, how we're designed, just squatting like a baby, you know, on the ground or in the toilet, and that gives you a flatter stomach.
Whereas
you
the
get better
bowel kinks,
evacuation.
you know, when you're sitting there, it just kinks. And
So one of Freelee's flat stomach tips is squatting on the toilet.
Yeah, definitely.
Big difference. Can't do it.
Oh, stretch more.
Really, you can't do that. Well,
So much cycling.
It's just practice. You can squat like that,
I
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to stretch though.
but maybe you have to take your cycling shoes off when you get in the toilet. Or sliding off.
Or just get the squatty potty.
Yeah, squatty potty.
It's like this little apparatus thing you put in front of the toilet. You put your feet up. Yeah, it's
So-
pretty good. Poo
Yeah.
stall.
So toilets was designed, like the traditional English toilet was designed for royalty because royalty became so fat on their organic high-fat diets of hundreds of years ago. They became so fat they could no longer squat. So we never noticed that when you get to Asia, you see, who's seen squat toilets in Asia? Like maybe the airport or something like that. You walk in, I remember my first time to the toilet in 2001 in Indonesia. I'm in the airport and busting. I'm like, where's the fucking toilet, man? And I was like, shit. And I go to the next cubicle. All these toilets are like, flat squat toilets. I'm just almost shitting my pants. And I'm like, how do you use this fucking thing? You know, and I just like use it. And I was like,
They're good, but they're a bit like when you spray it, it goes everywhere. You know, I think the design could be better. Twerk. There's an idea. I'll keep that in mind next time.
But yeah, but that's how we're designed to watch a baby or a toddler have a dump, just squatting down. It's good. Yeah, just the what's called the keto strips, the keto urine. Yeah, but what you should do is say, I want you to do a 30-day food vlog where you post everything you eat for 30 days. Yeah? And then let's do the test afterwards. But yeah, I mean, you could get the world record 5K runner and he's not even going to be able to beat you. It'll be just like, fuck. So yes, I've had plenty of those guys say, I'm like, alright, turn up, man, turn up. I'll give you money if you beat me. They never do. It's just keyboard warrior talk. I always say the condition is you live with me for a week beforehand and I'll feed you or I'll watch you eat. And you do a diet of consistently of coconut and avocados and that's it. Coconut, avocados and kale. Yeah, all you know. Dead possums, dead cats and dog intestines. One more question and we'll go din-dins. 6. Past 6. 8 minutes past.
Okay.
One more,
One
Steve.
more. Where's Joe?
Oh,
Oh, you're going to take the...
yeah.
Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah,
party
yeah.
time.
Party
Is
tonight?
everybody going to the party tonight?
Saturday night.
I'm the DJ.
You're the DJ, so who's going? Show of hands. Few people? Maybe not everybody knows about it.
Yeah, everyone come to Happy Green at 7 p.m. It's gonna be,
Party night.
Party.
yeah,
I got a party like it's
DJ spin the wheels of steel.
it's gonna be late into the night.
People gotta
7
be in the
till
gutter.
9 p.m.
MC Mango in the house. Finger Eckies. Any Tucker.
It's only till 9 p.m.
7 to 9. One more question. Any more questions?
We have stickers too.
Patrick's got stickers.
What
How
are
much
they
are the
for?
stickers?
The party.
Free stickers for your laptop or your bicycle. Go see Patrick.
Yeah, the white ones are good for your bike. The transparent ones are good for laptops, water bottles, things like that.
Alright.
Awesome.
Maybe you can specify when you hand them out. Alright. See you tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the ride. And 5 o'clock here.
Thanks for coming.
Q&A.
Have fun at the party.